Cue Tang Clan, show number 10. You guys are a part of history. Let's talk about it. Yeah. Welcome to an all-new Cue Tang Clan. Thank you guys for being here. Man, this is it sounds kind of weird to say, but this is show number 10. This is something I never thought I would be doing. Being involved in TV when I was a lot younger and being involved with pool my whole life, and now kind of combining the two things together, it's really something I thought would never happen. But 10 shows, I mean, that's it may seem like a little bit to everybody else, but to me, it's a little milestone. It's something I thought I would never get to when I first started doing this. So those of you who comment and subscribe and are always messaging me, thank you guys for making it special. And those of you who haven't been involved with the show, please get involved with the show. It's how I like to grow the show and make it better. And hopefully one day, this is going to catch on. I get pretty decent views now on the little clips I put on Instagram, but just growing it on YouTube has been a struggle. But we're going to get there, and hopefully you guys come along for the ride. I really appreciate those of you to do. We got a few new cues to talk about. First things first, my old friends at Predator, they're at their 30th anniversary. So they're releasing a special edition P3. They've done a few of these racer models with the, all P3s are kind of the same, but they call them the racer models, to where they kind of do a dark color and then a opposing contrast. And they call it the racer model because it's supposed to resemble like racing stripes on a car. So their 30th anniversary racer model P3 was released. I was a very big fan of the P3. I was a big P3 guy. Every P3 that popped out, I had to have it. $1,500 a pop with the Revo shaft. As soon as they come out, I'd be harassing people on the phone for it. That was 2 years ago, and further back. I'm happy where I'm at, but when this P3 came out, I was like, man, this thing is hot. I would love to have this, and who knows, I still might grab it because it's kind of a milestone. I was a Predator guy for a long time. Now I love my Viking and my white carbon. I would never switch from that because I really feel like it's meant for my type of playing. But man, this P3 is hot. It's matte black with the gold stripe. Man, I think it's called, what is it called? The Gold Racer, the P3 Gold Racer. Obviously, they make the two models of it. They make one with a Lux wrap, and they make one without. And I also believe they make one with the Unilock and then the Unilock radial. So there's like 4 different combinations of this P3 that they potentially have. But yeah, 30 years for Predator, man, that's crazy. It's in comparison to like the Mayuchis and even the Vikings and the McDermotts and other Q makers out there that have been out there forever. 50 years, 60 years for some of these guys, but for Predator, they always felt like kind of the new kid on the block. But 30 years, that really means like, okay, we're here to stay. We've been at the top of the mountain for so long, just the popularity and the amount of pros they have using their cues. It's good to see something sticking around like that. So hey, congratulations, Predator. I know we've kind of had a rocky relationship at times, but hey, I used you guys for many years, and that was the best in the world to me. Was when I was a struggling pool player and I had a $70 player cue, and I won something to where I got some a Cyberx gift card, and I got some Predator gear, and man, that was the best thing in the world to me. That first Sport 2 I had, man, that was the tits. And then, getting to meet Jen Beretta and play Jen Beretta, and having her talk to me about P3s, and then getting into P3s. I became like the P3 guy. Like that was my world, P3s. But that's in the past. I used my Paul Drexler Fire Cue with the white carbon shaft, and I am extremely happy with that. But anyway, in closing, congratulations, Predator, and go check out that P3 because it is hot, man. Truthfully, it's in the it's up for serious debate if I grab this cue or not. It's that cool looking. I know I like the cue, but the color combination, the black and gold, I mean it's cool looking. It's definitely flashy. Moving right along, I want to get to my Viking cues. So late last year, we got the first edition of the Viking and Paul Drexler collaboration. They were making the 4 cues, the 4 Element Series cues. Late last year, they released the Fire cue, which I own. Those of you may have seen it during the Mosconi Cup. Jason Shaw was using it briefly. But they released that late last year, and then March, right before the Super Billiards Expo, they unveiled the Viking Paul Drexler water cue. You can see that in my Super Billiards Expo video. I have extensive time with that cue and a lot of great footage up close of that. So if you guys want to see that cue, make sure you check that video out. There'll be some pictures here, but make sure you guys check that video out too if you really want to see that cue in depth. So yeah, the water cue was released in March, and I don't know if they had problems with manufacturing it or materials or whatnot, but here it is. I mean, it's the middle of June, and I just found out yesterday that Viking just shipped the batch of those water cues to Cybers. So any day now, we should be able to purchase that water cue. But also coming up in the next few weeks, they're going to unveil the next Element Series cue in their line, which is the let me see here. I believe it is the Earth cue. It could be Earth or Wind. I believe it's Earth. So it's kind of like right on top of each other. I really wonder, what the problem was, why they were delayed. But look, I'm not complaining. Get it right. Don't put out anything with errors. Make sure everything is fully functionable and fully put together. So yeah, I'm really excited. Hopefully any day now, I should be making an order for that water cue. And then I really can't wait to see what the Earth cue, and then later in November, December, they'll unveil the Wind cue, and that'll be the 4 cues from the Viking and Paul Drexler collaboration. Those of you who don't know Paul Drexler, I've been in the game a few decades, and he was kind of news to me. But he's held in very high regard as a Hall of Fame cue maker. So when you have, the brand of cue that you use collaborating with the superstar cue maker, it's exciting, man. It's like your sports team getting a superstar. It's like Michael Jordan playing on the Knicks. It's the equivalent of that. But I can't wait to get the water cue, and then I can't wait to see the Earth cue and the Wind cue. Hopefully see the Earth cue soon. It was something I wanted, I was only going to get the Fire and Water cue. I wasn't really going to get the other 2. I don't need 4 very high-end cues. I don't need any other cues now. I love my Fire cue that much. And it's not like I'm playing baseball with it to where it's going to go break. But I would like to have the 2 cues and the contrasting elements, fire and water. I thought that would be cool to have them in the same numbers also. It's a limited run, so they're only 1 through 50, only 50 of each being made, so 200 cues from Viking and Paul Drexler as a whole. Yeah, so I was only going to get the Fire and Water cue, but I'm kind of anxious. To see, it would be nice to have the whole collection, but then again, it's like $2,000, man. I can't keep shelling out $2,000 every time a hot cue comes out. So I just. Maybe I'll stick with 2, but as soon as these things pop out and you see how good they look, you're like, oh man, let me sprinkle around a little credit here and there. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So anyway, stay tuned with Cyberts, and if you guys get your stuff there, keep checking back with them. It should be any day now that they get these water cues out and listed for sale, and you can potentially buy them and pair them with the white carbon and have as much fun playing pool as I do with that combination. Last thing I wanted to talk about is a couple of weeks ago we had the World Championships in Saudi Arabia, and we had a great finale with Kachi and Fedor Gorst. Fans of American pool, our Mosconi Cup captain Skylar Woodward, he didn't have the finish that we would expect from him or befitting a captain. Kind of had a tough run. He had some wins, but he had a tough run in the tournament. I later found out that he didn't have his cues, whether they were lost on a plane or stolen or something like that. I don't know the details behind that, but we found out he didn't have his cues, and he had to borrow cues from a friend or a vendor or something like that. My question to you guys is, and feel free to drop it in the comments, whatever you guys think about this. Do you guys feel that matters? Do you guys feel that you can play with any cue and just pick up any cue and play at a top level, or do you got to have your cue? Because I know from being a pool player for many years and experience with that, like I feel like I need to have my cue because there's little visual marks on there I use, whether it's a portion of wood grain or the way the logo on the shaft pairs with the logo on the butt, however those guys line up, and that's what I use as my visual cue. Does that matter to you? I mean, it really matters to me. Weight is a big difference. Not all cues are created equal. You would like to think they are, especially production cues, but who knows? When you're playing with wood like that, you can be off by grams, ounces. Just by the porousness of the wood and how it's cut and everything, and even whatever else they put into it. I know it's down to a fine science, but all these things are pretty much different. You can, with weight bolts today, you can add and subtract and make every cue the same weight, but really, I mean, every cue has its own characteristics. I'm a guitar player. I used to play a lot more, but same thing with guitars. Wooden instruments, wooden cues, they all have their own characteristics, whether it's the way the sound vibrated through the wood or the way it breathes and expands when it's in elements, humidity and dry environments. And when you're working with wood like that, it's very weird. So yes, I would like to say that I mean, yeah, it's a big difference at that level. You would love to believe that they can just pick up anything and play great with it, but hell yeah, I think it matters, and I commend him for as far as he got. Having to play with a strange set of cues. Let's let's hope that he gets him back, so he's not having to break in a new cue or continuously borrow cues. That's I don't know. You kind of have a bond with your cues. It's your tools. It's your instruments of warfare. It's what you go to work with and what you develop this bond to play this great game with. You gotta be one with your tools. I don't know, but let me know in the comments what you guys think. Is it a big deal or not? That's about all I got for now. I just quickly want to remind you guys about I'm still doing the Magic Rack giveaway. I thought it would be a lot more booming than it was, but we still have given away a lot of Magic Racks. Those of you still waiting, hey, I live in the mountains and I have a rural postal route, so we gotta drop our stuff off, days in advance. So your packages are on the way to the post office right now, so you should be getting those shortly. But those of you who haven't taken advantage of this giveaway, what are you guys waiting for? If you've already done it, tell some friends. It's a free Magic Rack. You got to follow 2 YouTube pages and an Instagram page, and you get a free $20 Magic Rack, the official rack of the WNT, made by my friend Roy Chow. Magic Ball Rack Official on Instagram. Go check his page. Go look at his products. They're available everywhere. They're available at Cyberts. It's the best rack in the world. You guys can get it for free. Follow some pages. It's simple as that. But we'll worry about that later. If you guys don't take advantage, that's on you. But those of you who did, once you start playing with these things, or you probably already know the reputation of this product, believe me, follow some pages. These things are great. Trust me. That's all I got for now. Look out for many more Cue Tang Clans. Now that we're out of, we've done 10 of them. Look for number 11, and also look for me and Jay, Level 2 Billiards Live. We do recap shows and many more laughter ahead of us. So be on the lookout for more content in the future. Once again, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate everybody who participates with this show. Comments, nitpicking, whatever it is as long as you want to participate with the show. That's what I appreciate, because that's what makes this show better. So thank you guys for all that. Thank you for show 10. I'll see you next time. Take it easy.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.